This is KVUE News at 5.
I just know that wasn't my son that did that. I don't know why he did that.
A KVUE News exclusive. The parents of the UT stabbing suspect talk about their son, the recent turning point they saw in Kendrick's White.
Good afternoon. I'm Terry Gruca.
And I'm Mike Rush. A KVUE Austin American-Statesman joint exclusive. The parents of accused UT stabber Kendrick's White are apologizing, offering condolences, and trying to understand how their son went from being a student with academic accolades to an accused killer.
Yeah, they say he did have a major turning point in his life recently that may give some insight. Tony Plohetzky is here now with what they said in an hour-long sit-down earlier today. This is heart-wrenching for them.
Oh, just really sad all the way around, Terry, Mike. About 5 weeks ago, about 5 weeks before that attack, Kendrick's White had a car crash near the UT campus. It led to his arrest for DWI, but his parents tell me that he was never the same again after that. In fact, he had to be involuntarily committed to a psychiatric hospital where he stayed a little more than a week. Now, this is the first time we are hearing from Kendrick's White's parents. They say they wanted to speak out to help explain their son's mental state, but also to say that they too are heartbroken by what happened. Kenneth and Shantina White also say they want to offer condolences to the family of Harrison Brown, who died after the stabbing, and to the other victims. 3 other UT students were also stabbed and wounded.
I'm still wrapping my mind around it. It's like so surreal that it can't be happening, even though I know it's happening. My heart goes out to all families involved in this incident, and we're so sorry. We're so sorry.
I don't know if we missed something, or I don't have an excuse for it. You know, I don't want to make an excuse for it, make light of anything, but I just know that
Now, in the weeks before the attack, the Whites say they were routinely checking on their son, driving from their home in Killeen to UT, but they say they had no inkling that he might be violent. They say doctors had performed numerous tests on him, including a brain scan, but had not yet settled on an exact diagnosis. The night of the crash and White's DWI arrest, he did tell police he was taking what he described as happy pills, but his parents think that he also may have hit his head somehow in that crash, causing their son's entire behavior and demeanor to change soon before the stabbing. Mike and Terry.
Tony, we know you'll stay on top of the story. We appreciate the update.
Absolutely.
You may remember freshman UT student Harrison Brown died in that attack. According to court documents, White stabbed Brown in the chest. 3 other students were injured in the attack. They have all been released from the hospital.
Shifting gears to weather, we've got a cloudy sky out there. Embedded in this thick cloud cover, a couple of sprinkles and light showers, although nothing all that impressive on Maxstorm Doppler radar. The clouds holding temperatures down, upper 70s and low 80s right now. Here's a look at the last 3 hours with a few of those sprinkles coming in from the south. We'll keep in a chance for a passing shower this evening, but overall the greatest risk of severe weather will be in parts of the Panhandle in northwest Texas. That's where a tornado watch is in effect until late this evening. Already a couple of tornadoes spotted near the Childress area. So a passing shower tonight, a thunderstorm or 2 possible tomorrow, but low in chances of storms, and then sunny and drier as we head towards Friday and your weekend. We'll talk about that Mom's Day forecast coming up.
My eyes! My mouth!
We showed you this emotional reunion between a mother and her daughter earlier this week. It was the first time the two have seen each other since the daughter's birth 52 years ago. One group tells us it hopes more reunions like this can happen with proposed legislation. New at 5, KVUE's Christy Millward gives us a look.
I knew something was missing.
The same eyes, mouth, even shoes. It's clear Donna Pavey and Sharon Glidden are related.
I knew I'd see her in heaven, but I never dreamed this day would come.
Mother and daughter were reunited just a few days ago after being separated for 52 years when Pavey says she was forced by her parents to give her baby up for adoption.
I never want to let her go.
While not everyone wants this type of reunion, Marcy Purcell, who was adopted at 3 years old, says for many adoptees it is important to see the information on their birth certificate.
Is their birthday correct? Where were they born?
For this reunion, daughter Glidden took a DNA test and had a bit of luck through social media. Purcell, who is also the vice president of Texas Adoptee Rights, says this is what many adoptees do to try to find information about their history.
With the records being sealed, adoptees just go around those sealed records.
That's why the group supports Senate Bill 329, which would allow someone who is adopted to get a non-certified copy of their birth certificate when they turn 18. It would also allow parents to fill out a contact preference form to let their adult child know if they want to be contacted or not, and would aim to keep medical history up to date. Dawn Scott adopted her daughter at just 3 days old through an open adoption. She says that medical history is crucial.
I know, blood types. I know every single thing. I don't have to operate in a mystery zone, and that would scare me to death.
Some opponents worry mothers will decide against adoption if they know their child could find them down the road. Connie Gray, the president and founder of Texas Adoptee Rights, says she doesn't think that will be the case.
Parents want to know that the children that they gave birth to are okay. And although lots of people want to be in communication and contact, they don't want their business spread all over the internet.
We spoke to Senator Donna Campbell's office, who has opposed this bill in the past. Now, she didn't want to comment on the issue today because they don't feel like there's enough support for the bill to pass the Senate. Christy Millward, KVUE News.
Thanks, Christy. Pflugerville police are investigating the city's first homicide of 2017. Officers responded to shots fired a little after 5 this morning at the 1825 Place Apartments. Officers found the victim in the parking lot. He was taken to St. David's Round Rock Medical Center, where he died. Investigators are still searching for a suspect. If you saw anything that could help with the investigation, call police.
Now to the big news out of Washington. Tonight, new information after the firing of FBI Director James Comey. ABC News reporting Comey requested more money and more manpower from the Department of Justice for the Russian investigation just days before he was fired. President Trump is giving his reason for firing Comey.
Because he wasn't doing a good job, very simply. He was not doing a good job.
And you may have heard what was in that letter President Trump sent to Comey informing him that he was fired. Part of it reads, quote, "I greatly appreciate you informing me on 3 separate occasions that I am not under investigation."
That is a tell. That shows that we have a deeply insecure president who understands that the noose is tightening because of this Russia investigation. And that's why I believe he has let Jim Comey go.
As for that Russia probe, leading Democrats, including the Senate Minority Leader, are calling on the Deputy Attorney General to appoint a special prosecutor into the investigation of Russia's involvement in the U.S. election. Republicans say appointing a special prosecutor, though, would impede the ongoing congressional investigations. And it's still not clear who initiated the decision to fire the FBI director. The White House says the Russia probe had nothing to do with Comey's firing. But there are conflicting reports about whether it was President Trump's idea or, as the White House insists, the Deputy Attorney General. As for why the president fired him, it's blamed on how he handled the investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails.
The hits keep coming for air travel in the U.S. More unruly passengers, flight attendants caught in the crossfire, even pilots contributing to a culture in the sky that is anything but friendly. Emily Rao with the story.
Police called it a near riot in Fort Lauderdale when Spirit Airlines canceled or delayed dozens of flights on Monday. The airline blaming the pilots for a work slowdown in the middle of contract talks.
Very tense, very angry people. Everybody had places to be.
And that move prompting a judge to issue a temporary restraining order to get the pilots back to work and tensions below boiling.
Security, Captain!
This brawl on board a Southwest jet that just landed in Burbank shows a flight attendant caught right in the middle.
I see the stewardess trapped below, in between the seats, on the ground, and she was being pummeled at the same time as the other guy was being pummeled.
Southwest giving props to its employees, calling them everyday heroes, delivering heartfelt hospitality. But this Kansas City nurse not feeling the love from United.
Hey, I'm going to need to go. This is urgent. I have an overactive bladder. you know, can I use the restroom?
She says there was no mercy from the flight attendants, leaving her no choice but to literally pee in a cup.
There was just no, you know, no customer service, no compassion.
That woman posting her story on Facebook because she says she couldn't get United to acknowledge her complaint. Social media and cell phone video both playing a big part in this ongoing story. Emily Rao, ABC News, New York.
So in less than 40 years, Hispanics are projected to make up the majority of the Central Texas population. Tonight, how a new fund is helping those who make less money than other races.
And it is National Women Build Week. A Round Rock family getting a new home made by women.
You're watching KVUE, where trust is earned.